having a great day. We here at the Kooky Kitchen are having a great day, and we're going to continue to do that. So we hope you will too. Hi, my name is Tina, and we are wrapping up the second week of my experiment, because it was quite an experience, to see if I could actually create a menu or dinners around things I already had. Things in the fridge that needed to get used, things in the cabinet that needed to get used, things in the freezer. You know where I'm going with that. So we did week 1, we did a wrap up. We're doing week 2, and this is our wrap up for week 2. The last thing we have left really is we're going to taste test the spicy jalapeno cheeseburger, and we're having it for lunch because I don't want to cook when it's hot. This is cinnamon churro cornbread that I did prep before today. And then, of course, I took my hamburger out yesterday to defrost. So let's see how we did. Let's go take a look at the fridge and see what it looks like. Is it crammed full of food like it was before? Do I have any spills I missed cleaning up because it's so full? What's it look like? Let's go take a look. All right, here's what it looks like. We do have a quiche we took out of the freezer for lunch that we need to finish up. We've almost finished up our sour cream. We've still got some hamburger buns left. Maybe I'll use them. Well, we're having the churro bread. I'm sure we'll use them next week. We've still got these mushrooms that we need to use. This is my second batch of homemade ketchup. We're letting it sit and but as you can see, this is leftovers from having guests that we need to get eaten. This is, for 2 weeks, my fridge has really looked this, to me, great, because usually it's just stocked full, things falling out as you open it. So there's a couple of things that I learned in week 2. Number 1, when you use all your mayonnaise and then you don't make sure you have more before you move on to another recipe that uses mayonnaise, don't go to the nearest, quickest store. That's what I did. I paid $9.49 for this when I could have went 10 minutes across town and got it for $3.98. So don't make that mistake. All right, let's get back to the so throughout the week, we did use up 2 Suddenly Salad boxes that I needed to get used. We don't normally buy it. I'm not sure why I had them. They needed to get used. We did empty the mayonnaise. We emptied olive oil. What else? Oh, we did eat some of our cheese bites that we needed to eat. So overall, it was a pleasant experience, but we had a panic day where I had done an experiment with potatoes. Let me get this burger started for our hamburger helper, and I'll tell you about that. And the instructions tell me to cook a pound of ground beef. I always add onions to mine. My onions were onions and bell peppers I had frozen that I missed in the freezer at some point. I'm trying to get used up now, so that's what I dropped in. And I did put them in now because they were frozen, so they could kind of thaw out, and any excess liquid could cook out. So back to the potato story. My potato experiment, I think I have 2 videos. One where I used cubed potatoes and hash browns, and then the last one was whole baked potatoes. I was going to turn into twice baked potatoes. And what I had done was I had baked them, then cut them or sliced them, or the baked potatoes I actually wrapped whole, took them out and tried to, the first week, the shredded and the cubed, they just turned to mush. I even started from frozen. And the texture was just very grainy, very mealy. So I was hoping the baked potatoes, since it was whole and all of that good stuff, that they would turn out. When I went to make the dish, the twice baked potatoes, I sliced them, and I thought, oh no, that looks like what the other potatoes look like. So I scooped one out and warmed up the potatoes, and then me and my son both tasted them. And yeah, it was still milly. I was hoping it would work out. I would love to keep baked potatoes in the freezer and then just pull them out instead of having to cook them all in one night. So the chickens got that. I'm making a mess here trying to cook with one hand. Let's just pick that up now. They loved them. Then the next day I realized, oh no, that was supposed to be my week 1 wrap up from seeing if I could just use what I had at home and not actually go to the store and spend a whole lot of money. I think the first week I ended up spending $5.99. We know when we looked in the fridge, I have a $10 bottle of mayonnaise in there. So I thought, stay true to this. So I went looking. I did have a graham cracker crust. I had some pudding, and I had cream cheese. So I thought, oh, and I had Cool Whip. Okay, I will just make a pudding cream cheese Cool Whip pie. No bake, it's cool, it's quick. And I will use half banana, half chocolate. Sounded great. So I go to do the pie. I'm looking for the whipped topping, that comes in the tub that's supposed to be in the freezer. I had put it in the refrigerator and it was no longer good. So then I had to adjust. Schedules changed. It was just like 24 hours of panic on everything, but I did get that video done. I was so invested that I finished it. So what I learned was when things change, roll with it. We just roll with it. What else do you got? I didn't have to go to the store. I still didn't go buy a whole bunch of food. I still just shopped at my own house, looking through pantries, looking through the fridge, looking through the freezer, and the pie was absolutely delicious. So I learned a few things. I hope I've conveyed those things that I've learned. I can probably have decent meals for us, even delicious good meals for us, for months without having to go to the store. And that's a plus, because I'm ahead of the game. If the store closes tomorrow, I'm good. So remember, we don't always need to go shopping. We need to use what we have before it goes bad. And yeah, I know, Best By dates is nothing on most products. So anyway, let's get this hamburger helper whipped up so we can taste it. All right, we've added 1 1/4 cups of water and 2 cups of milk. We've got it stirred. We're going to bring to a boil, then we're going to reduce the heat and simmer. So the other thing I learned was that you don't have to prep all in one day. I did some prep on Sunday, and then I did some on Wednesday. I did it in the morning so that it was not too hot. Prepping help, it saves time. Oh, and it saved, the cleanup during the week was very, very easy. I think on my last video, the one before this one, I even show you my counters clean. We had garbage to throw away. We had a plate and a knife. I forget what else, maybe a bowl. I forget what all we had. So even with this here, it is not quite noon because I'm doing it while it's still cool. But I got a pan, I got a spoon, and I'm using a cutting board that I'm going to cut the Churro Cornbread on. So since this is boiling, let me get a lid, turn it down, we'll simmer, and we'll start getting our churro bread ready for us to try. Okay, I had to go get my taste tester. I did take a little bite off of this. It's cold, and then I warmed up the rest of it.
That's pretty good.
Right? I didn't think it would be, but even cold, it's good.
Oh, I like it.
So there you go, folks. If you happen to see some cinnamon churro cornbread, you might want to grab it. obviously we're not trying it with food, but it's like a, I don't know, coffee cake. I don't know how to explain it.
It's more like a coffee cake than cornbread.
But it is good, and I would actually buy it again. I really would. All right, our hamburger helper is almost done. Our hamburger helper is supposed to be ready. The box does say to stir occasionally when you're simmering it. And yes, if you don't, it will stick to the bottom. So just remember to do that. And we're going to let it cool a little bit. And we're going to come back and taste it to see if we would buy it again. You know, I probably would just make my own. So real quick. A pound of ground beef browned with onions. Maybe onions and bell peppers, salt, pepper. I'm going to add water, milk, cheddar cheese, and some type of chopped pepper, whether it be the diced green chili peppers or the diced jalapenos, diced my own serranos, whatever. And maybe a couple other seasonings and some garlic. I would probably make my own. But do I like the flavor? And I would probably have to work with mine because I wouldn't get it right the first time. All right, let's let this cool and we'll be back to taste. All right, we are going to taste test this Jalapeño Cheeseburger Hamburger Helper, I think is what it was called.
That was tasty. I like that.
Oh, that is good. Just a little bit of heat at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably either buy or make this again. Absolutely. And that's it, folks. We are going to move on to some cookbook curiosities. But the lessons I learned in the last 2 weeks, I think are going to be valuable to me just overall, no matter what I'm doing in the kitchen. And so I'm hoping to move them forward with me as I continue. Kyle's back for a second. My different series, Back Then Bites, Cookbook Curiosities. We'll have some garden updates when we can. We're going to try to use our herbs for different tea drinks. And we just haven't found one that we both agree on, so that's why we aren't there yet. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you'll subscribe to see more. We'd like to see you give us a thumbs up. Share the video with family and friends. Comment below and nothing else, just say hi. Thanks again. This is Tina and Kyle with the Kooky Kitchen. We'll see you next time. Stay kooky, my kitchen friends. Bye.